All right. So, hello and good afternoon, everybody. To those watching the recording, thank you so much for joining us. And for everyone jumping in live, we're so happy that you could make it for this session. We're going to give everyone a minute or two just to get settled. And in the meantime, I'm going to give a brief introduction. So, my name is Caleb. I work in sales and marketing over here at Opkey. And if you're not familiar with Opkey, we are a test automation platform for a variety of ERPs and packaged applications. And this includes Workday, Oracle, Salesforce, Coupa, and many other apps. We are all about taking the burden of testing off of your plate and freeing up your team to do work that matters. And just last month, we became an official Workday Design Approved partner, which we're really excited to take going into 2025. And I am really excited to introduce Deepti Pandey. She's our Director of Product Solutions and our resident expert in all things Workday. She has an extensive experience in how the Workday platform works for its users and the best ways to test using no code and AI automation. Today, she will cover the current state of Workday testing and will provide some insights on how to effectively manage Workday testing as we head into 2025. Huge thank you to Deepti for your time, and we're really excited to learn from you in this session today.
Thanks,
Um,
Caleb.
of course. And before we get started with the session, a few housekeeping notes. If you do have questions, please pop them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and we'll be able to address those towards the end. There will be time for questions, or a dedicated time for questions at the end of the session. And also, I do encourage everyone to reach out to our sales team at sales@opkey.com or check out our website at www.opkey.com for a variety of information beyond just this webinar. And we will also be providing a recording of this webinar in case you feel that you may have missed something throughout the presentation. And from there, I'm going to get my screen shared, and then we will turn it over to Deepti.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Caleb. Just introduce myself, but Caleb has already done a great job. I don't think I deserve all those things which he said, but my name is Deepti. I'm the Director of Product Solution here at Opkey, based in Melbourne. I have been working in ERP domain for quite some time now and genuinely passionate about it. So Workday as a platform is very, very close to my heart. And with all the exciting innovations and developments we are doing in Opkey, and Workday itself is absolutely ahead of the game. All these things, I am really excited to be on this journey and see what next 3 months or 6 months have in store for us. So hopefully today I would be able to give you a very, very quick a glimpse into what this exciting world of ERP and Workday in particular holds for us, and how Opkey can assist you and be your handy dandy agent alongside your journey into this new development. So just walking you through the agenda quickly. Introduction, I don't think it needs any more explicit introduction. Hopefully we'll make this half an hour, 45 minutes an hour worthwhile. I will take you through some of the key trends in Workday. So for those of you who were there at the Rising, you might have already seen and heard from a variety of people about what this new AI trend is. But if not, I will be taking you through it at a very high level. Now, innovation comes at the cost. And the cost is, of course, for a platform like us, we have to keep up with the new things that are coming in the market, if not ahead of them. But for the clients who are using tools like Workday, like Oracle, like SAP, all the new innovations comes with their own challenges, and we need to be ahead of the game in terms of tackling them. So I'll be taking you through those challenges, And then, of course, our forte testing, how we can help you, and what are the advantages of using Opkey in the Workday landscape as an automation tool. I won't, in this presentation particularly, I won't do the working demo. We have had a couple in past, which I'm sure are available, but I will be doing another specific demo webinar in a few weeks to come. So stay tuned for that. And then we will be open for any questions you might have. So let's just move on. All right. So guys, Workday as a tool needs no introduction. It's an ERP cloud platform and finance, human resource, supply chain at a very high level. Are just like any other ERP system, Workday offers everything that you can think of. It's a complete enterprise resource planning tool, if you like, for your organization. Now, just a very quick I'd just like to mention this, that when Workday started, their forte was HCM. That's what they focused on. And they well and truly captured the market in that area. So even till date, the biggest clientele is in the HCM area. And but then again, finance, supply chain, planning, all these things, Workday has well and truly established itself as leader. So and it's growing absolutely beautifully. So if we move on to the next slide. Very quickly, Workday is not something which is a tool specific to any geography. It is available worldwide. It has a huge clientele in over 120 odd countries. And very proudly, it serves over 50% of the Fortune 500 companies. Workday's revenue is exceptionally growing, and it grew from 4.32 billion in 2021 to 6.2 billion. And I think 2024, I did mention somebody saying about roughly about $8 billion is what they are going to be closing it at. So exceptional growth, which is a testimony to the ease of use, to the value which this platform provides to the companies. So moving on. Now, key highlights of Workday in fiscal year 24. As I said, total revenue will be close to, in 2024, it will be close to 8 billion. I am quite certain I heard it somewhere in the rising. Their subscription revenues have increased significantly. Their operating cash flows are, the numbers are absolutely staggering. And I think the biggest thing I would like to highlight in all these growths, other than the stats, is Workday, like many other companies, has realized that they are not just a company who will cater for the companies if you are $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion revenue generating company. So still till date, a lot of people think that, oh, we are too small a business to afford Workday. And one key highlight is Workday has completely changed that perception. A company, a restaurant with few outlets and 80 employees, a company with 100 employees, under 500 employees, Workday has a model for each and every business which they can offer. Very, very affordable and highly valuable. So that, I think, is a highlight for me. They are very aggressively working in the low to mid category of business. So no longer Workday is a platform which I can't afford because I don't have a huge established business just yet. That notion has completely gone out of the window, which I think is a huge benefit. So moving on. Now, factors contributing to the growth of this application. A few of them are very sort of well known, like cloud adoption. So the cloud architecture facilitates a huge flexibility. Global expansion, as I said before, it is not concentrated to any geography. Strategic expansion into Europe and Asia Pacific, APAC. America obviously is its territory. Globally, over 120 countries, Workday is very, very widely available, and the support after you have ERP in your organization is pretty good as well. And which rolling into the next one, customer-centric approach. So as I said, 98% customer satisfaction, which is a huge good number, and I can vouch for it because Opkey in itself is not just a Workday partner, we are a Workday customer as well. So we have very recently got into the customer territory. We got Workday and we are in the implementation phase, and I am so excited to be a Workday customer as well. And so far, the experience has been absolutely wonderful. And I can tell you how well and truly I feel supported by the customer help approach of Workday, which I'm really, really grateful for. Right. So guys, moving on. Now, let's just very quickly go through the key trends in Workday in 2024. Right. Guys, the next 3 slides is all about key trends and capsule and at a high level telling you what are the new features which Workday is introducing. So instead of going trend by trend, I will take these next 10 or 15 minutes to summarize everything AI and the new features which Workday is bringing. So most of the trends which you will see here, in fact, all of them are very, very AI centric. So artificial intelligence, the agentic learning, the machine learning, these words have been the buzzword for last few years. But Workday has well and truly taken it to the next level where they are no longer buzzwords and people will actually see the benefits and see all these things in action. So if you were at Rising, you must be aware of Workday Eliminate. That's where they open it up. So Workday Eliminate is the name of their new agentic tool, which they launched last month in September or month before. Now, what it has is it has various aspects to it. So I will be talking in particular about 2 aspects. One is the AI agents, which I'll take you through and give you a glimpse of. And the other one, which is my absolute personal favorite, is the Workday Assistant, which is like a bot. So AI empowered user experience and Workday Assistant. So before I dive deeper into it, let me just give you the basis of this. So I don't know how many of you know, but under the covers over years with the clientele of Workday, what Workday has managed to do is they have over 800 or 900 billion parameter LLM model underneath. So it's an extensive, people who are a bit into the learning models, SLMs, LLMs, they would be able to certainly appreciate the complexity of it. An LLM which has 800 billion parameters, and that model is optimized for over 80 million users in HR and finance worldwide. So over the years, Workday has developed a very, very sustainable, very, very mature, and very, very informative LLM underneath the hood. So what it means is that the application in itself, the Workday application in itself, it will now start to surface all the intelligent features which will bring intelligence across all the aspects of ERP, and people will have some real-time efficiency and gains in terms of time, money, and effort while using those features. So Workday is not the only application. SAP, coincidentally, is doing a similar thing in this area. But using these new capabilities, Workday can now offer very, very powerful agents which can identify things like budget overruns, or they can tell manager that employees are logging too much overtime, or they can they can actually result in the actionable item. Say, for example, if your employees are logging overtime, the actionable item is perhaps we need to hire more people, or we need to cut back hours, or we need to redesign our operations. So all these insights which the AI engine is going to provide, they do come with the actionable solutions and suggestions as well, which in its entirety mean greater efficiency. Now, um, so I use the word Workday agent. Let's just focus into these two aspects which I mentioned before: AI agents and then the chatbots. Now, speaking of agent, the three or four key agents which Workday highlighted are, let's start with recruiter agent. So talent and hiring have been any companies, and I can vouch for it, being working in Opkey, to find the right talent and to hire faster are any company's biggest challenge, especially when they are on their road to expansion, especially in this economy, which is very, very congenial and favorable for it. So Workday has well and truly understood the problem. And what they are saying is they already had an AI-powered hired score feature, which they are now combining with new features of AI, and customers are already seeing a substantial increase in recruitment capacity. So what this new recruiter agent would do is it can do things like it can automate simple tasks, or not simple tasks, it can automate the task which previously used to take a lot of time, for example, creating the job requisitions, sourcing the candidates, scheduling interviews, and can even go through the resumes and provide the insights to say, oh, this person is better suited for the job. The percentage match of this person's experience is relevant to what the job description is. These things, which otherwise are an absolute pain and at times become bottleneck for any company to hire and expand, Workday has well and truly realized it and has made it so easy and doable and accessible for all the Workday customers. The next agent is expense agent, which which Workday explained. And the biggest thing, again, in the finance world is creating and submitting expense reports. If you are a person who work for a company and you had to travel, who wouldn't know the pain of this? We go collect all the receipts, starting from Uber to hotel to breakfast bill to coffee bills, bring them back, scan them, send them to HR. HR matches it to the credit card, and then you get the money reimbursed. Now, this whole process can be shortened so easily. It is as simple as when I am traveling and I have an expense incurred, Workday gets a notification. They prompt me to upload my bill there and then. And guess what? My job is done. The whole expense report will be formed. The Workday will itself alert me to say, hey, you've just incurred the expense. Rather than saving the receipt for later, would you like to upload it now? And the item will be ready for review. So it's as simple as that. And how powerful would that agent be? Just relate to it in your day-to-day work. Next big thing, or the next agent I'm going to be taking upon, is succession agent. So it's succession planning for all. With this global economy, obviously attrition is a big problem, and succession planning, especially at the leadership level, is so important. Workday again realized that, look, it is a gap, it is a hole which needs to be addressed. And they have come up with the agent which specifically addresses it and automatically recommends successors from across the organization for a manager. Then the next one is essentially the Workday Optimize, which means throughout the supply chain, throughout the invoice life cycle of a company, Workday will realize the pain points, the blind spots, and will say, hey, look, in the whole invoice management process, these are the things which take longer. Once an invoice has been raised, before the payment is made, it sits in the approval for 3 days. So maybe this is something you need to look at. These things which drive efficiency and take any company's efficiency to the next level. So this is at high level what the Workday agents do. Now, my absolute personal favorite, which is the Workday bot. So Workday has come up with this concept of an AI bot, which is nothing but your worker for you, sitting right there with you, guiding you through the process. So OGL in the Oracle world, people are very, very familiar with it. It's something similar in that regard. So for example, if you have to raise an invoice and you need help, you have a new person joining the team. That's it. This bot, this AI worker will be sitting right next to you, guiding you through the process. You have to apply leaves in the system, and you're new to Workday. This person, this bot would act like a person and will be there guiding you through the whole process. So these are talent hiring in within the optimizing your whole end-to-end business by highlighting where the weak points are, where the blind spots are. So as I said before, these no longer remain the buzzwords. Companies will start to see AI being in action on platforms like Workday, and they will start to realize huge efficiency, time gains, and benefits in that regard. So I've used the word AI way too many times, but this is exactly what all the new trends are about. Not to mention more companies realizing that we can only be as good as our employee, as our people. So spending on their well-being, spending on supporting them, the mental health support, flexible schedules, all these things are made easy, and new features being introduced which will help employees in their day-to-day life gain a lot more flexibility, efficiency, and overall a huge improvement and development in the ERP landscape for each and every company. So if you move on now, let me take you through the challenges which every innovation comes with and how we can fit in there. All right. Adoption, absolutely no one is unfamiliar with this word. Any platform, especially a platform which is feature rich, has its own challenges, adoption being a really big one. And Workday has realized it, and that is why prompting more and more ERP systems to have chatbots. However, it is as easy as it sounds, there still remain a huge gap to be filled. And I'll take you through what those gaps are and how we help you there. Then change management. No matter how the feature-rich platform comes with its own burden of change management. Whilst Workday has major feature releases twice in a year, Workday also has weekly releases. Also, with all these new features rolling out, Workday introducing new capabilities, companies are on a roll to have their implementation improved, their implementation enhanced, and have the changes very frequently to various business processes. This is where the change management becomes a pain. And again, Opkey comes into play. More customizations definitely need more testing to make sure that not because it's no longer out of the box, to make sure that any integrations aren't broken, the end-to-end business processes aren't broken. So yeah, all these features, and this is exactly where Opkey fits in and comes into play. So if you move on, all right. First challenge I'm going to be talking about is the data migration. So as we know, most of the tools with ERP offering so many solutions. Companies are not just using one, but multiple ERP system, and things are changing very rapidly. So data gets migrated from one ERP to other as people are adopting new and new tools. And that's where the challenge comes into play, which is the data migration. So for anyone who is migrating data from a legacy system onto the Workday, they need to make sure that there's a robust data migration strategy which is in place, and can Workday's integration tools can then be used, and along with some powerful features which a platform like Opkey offers to test those integrations, and those challenges can well and truly be mitigated. Workday is very easy to integrate, but to integrate with. However, yeah, integration comes with its own challenges. Data migration is a huge and big one, and till date, with our experience, whenever we go to a customer, more than functional, the first question we get is, how do you test integrations? So I totally understand and relate to this challenge. Now, the other one is customization versus standard. So I think I briefly touched upon it, that the more customizations you have, the more features you have, which are specific to your business. However, it comes with the burden of it's not tested out of the box. So to leverage more and more features and make them suitable and adapt to your company's need, you need to do the customization and you need to do the continuous testing. So you have to have a platform, you have to have a mechanism which supports the continuous testing, automation strategies, which Opkey provides. So everything is a button click. And instead of waiting till, hey, when is R1, when is R2, you can say, hey, when is Friday? Let me kick off the automation suite. Come Sunday, when my non-prod is up and running, that's it. I will run it. And Monday, I will have the complete report. This is the landscape of automation that Opkey can help you with. Change management, as I said, audits, securities, did we have the appropriate access? Are the sorts and socks compliance met with every change? All these things are becoming more and more challenging. And Opkey again can be a great value tool in that area. Whilst we are not a complete audit tool just yet, but we do have some amazing audit capabilities within our platform, which can help you with your continuous change management. So rolling on. Regulatory compliance, I touched upon it briefly. The rules are becoming stricter than ever, and the companies are on their toes to make sure that they are compliant in all regards. And compliance in itself is a word which buzzes everyone's ears. Because there are penalties involved, there are reputational damages involved. So with the regular updates in particular, Workday has done a great job in making sure that the implementation remains compliant. Power it with features that Opkey has. Example, highlighting with every week's release, highlighting complete audit of your business processes, complete audit of who has made any changes to your security group, a report being sent to you on a weekly basis for that complete audit, highlighting the risks and dependencies within your security domain. The compliance becomes very easy. So yeah, that is something, a feature specific to Opkey, which I'm really fond of personally, where we send you a weekly report of complete audit and give you a glimpse of across geography, especially if you have an implementation of Workday. Everyone is on the same page. If your HR manager is in one company and your company and the employees are another, the manager doesn't have to worry about anything. The weekly report keeps everyone on top of what's happening. Now, integration is a huge problem, as I said before. I've really come across a company which uses Workday as a single platform of choice. Most of the companies for payroll, for requisitions, hiring, they have multiple systems in picture. So integration testing becomes really, really challenging. So some of the key things which Workday offers in this domain, in this area, are our capability of generating synthetic data. So we have a tool which we call Auto Data Generator. To test integration, you can well and truly use ADG tool to generate bulk data, upload it, and then verify. Every verification during the integration process is automated. The best thing about ADG that we offer is that it not only fills in the data which is in the free field, it also fills in the data which are specific to your tenant. And how we do it? We have our platform is powered by this thing we call configuration mining. We hook into your tenant, we mine the configurations, and our tool immediately knows, say, for example, how many job families are configured in your tenant. And based on that information, we can populate your tenant specific data using our ADG. To top it with our comparison utility. So we can have two outputs from an integration compared, not just like for like, but any transformation rule can easily be coded in, compared, and give you the result. So Opkey as a platform supports multiple ERPs, which again takes the integration testing a notch further and makes it very, very seamless. We support ERP systems like Oracle, SAP, Salesforce, Kronos. So if you have integration with any of these, Opkey support is completely out of box for all these ERP systems, which makes it a bit easier for us to fit into this integration landscape. So moving on. Now, I think role of testing in Workday or in general in any ERP, in any software, I don't think I have to reiterate or reinforce how important the testing is. No matter how stable the tool is, how stable, and Workday itself is, Workday claims that, hey, we are a fully tested out-of-the-box solution. You don't have to worry about our functionality. But guys, we know in reality that those out-of-the-box features can only take you this far. You have various challenges. You have customizations which are suitable for your own business. You have integrations, multiple integrations, hundreds of them, which you have to support on a daily, fortnightly, and monthly basis. Testing is absolutely imperative. Testing empowers you to make changes. If you do have a pain point and you know that there is a pain point, you don't have to wait any longer to fix it purely because the regression impact will be huge. No, sir. Once you have an automation platform like Opkey supporting your testing, you will have a complete flexibility of having an automated regression suite at the button click, which is always updated with your implementation, and you can run absolutely whenever you want. So just to reiterate, it ensures stability, it minimizes the risk with all the new things which are being introduced at the business level as well as at the tool level. It speeds up your deployment. As I said before, you can now adopt the new features really, really quickly. And the whole go-to production time is reduced significantly for any new feature. It enhances your performance. Some of the key focus area that we are very passionate about while we test is functionality. Obviously, functionally, we support all the modules of Workday. Across 3 modules, we have over 3,500 test cases, which span across end-to-end as well as unit test level. So we do have all that coverage. And why automation? Guys, we do not need to emphasize the fact that keeping up with all these changes manually is impossible. So all the frequent updates, the flexibility to adopt new features quickly, to improve your business quickly and make it in tune with your needs, automation is the key to it. So if we move on, go to the next slide. Now, Opkey for a Workday automation. So first thing I would like to say is we are not only Workday approved test partners, we also are solution approved, is design approved, which means once you come to us, you have a complete peace of mind that the integration which we are offering you or integrating your platform with Opkey for automation is completely safe and aligns with the Workday principles. So something I would like to highlight. And as I said before, it is seamlessly, it integrates with other ERP systems like Oracle, Salesforce, SAP. We have Coupa, we have Viva, we have Kronos. All these things are there for you out of the box. So makes integration testing really, really easy. With us being the Workday partner, we have access to Release Center. You receive advisory notes from us highlighting what are the key changes with R1 and R2. And we are well prepared even before the code is deployed into our sandbox environment. We know exactly custom and tailored suite of sanity and regression per customer because we know exactly what's happening in the Workday landscape. So if you move on, now, some of the key things that we as a platform offer. So firstly, if you already haven't gathered, Opkey is not a services company. We don't come to you and say, hey, hire us, and then we become your crutches forever. We are a platform. We onboard you onto our, again, AI-enabled and very, very advanced platform, which supports multiple ERP systems. It's a low-code, no-code automation platform, really easy to use, and it is very, very feature-rich. So you come to us, we establish, we understand your needs, we understand your requirements. We then create an automated suite tailored for your configurations, for your need, and then you get a handover of it. You have it. You can run it absolutely whenever you want. Not saying that we won't support you. We have another model where we look after it completely through and through, but you have a complete flexibility to take over and manage it. Now, this onboarding time, as I said, with our pre-built accelerator and our AI-enabled config mining features is very, very quick and painless. So rather than your business analyst sitting with us telling us, hey, I have this domain, that domain, this business process, we do all the mining ourselves. And when we have a webinar on the mining and how the tool works, I would love to take you through it. Then end-to-end business assurance, we not only test Workday at the business process or unit level, we have various end-to-end suites, various end-to-end test cases in our suite, which we analyze your configuration first and then suggest and come up with. A classic example of that is we analyze, hey, does this tenant has the union configured? If you do have union configured, then there is a specific set of test cases for payrolls, for benefits, for compensation, which needs to be tested because there are unions configured in your system. If you have various retirement plans configured, then there has to be termination processes which need to be tested to make sure that those retirement plan, the benefits are realized accordingly. So things like this, we have our pre-built accelerator and which looks after it completely along with us doing the config mining. Most important thing is Opkey is secure to the core. We worship your data. The comments which we get when we go to the clients are, you have way too many compliance certificates. Some of them you don't even need. That is the level of compliance which we have. So you can rest assured that your data is completely safe and secure with us. So moving on. All right, let me just touch upon the painless onboarding. So what you see here is a snapshot of what we call discovery. So just minutes back, I said that you don't need to sit with us and tell us what is configured in your tenant. We discover ourselves. So this discovery snapshot is what it does. It hooks into your tenant and gets all the information it needs in order to come up with the tailored and customized test suite for you. What it analyzes all the modules which are in your system. Within every module, it analyzes all the business process definitions which you have. Within business process definitions, it will analyze all the key configs, all the custom objects, and the whole security matrix. So if in Hire, you have 3 roles which you need to log in as to approve. You need to log in as a HR admin to approve, a compensation partner to approve. The tool knows it, figures out who in your tenant is a compensation partner, who in your tenant is a HR admin, takes a proxy of those people and does a seamless automation for you. So instead of you sitting with us months and months, week and weeks, the tool does it on literally a button click. And we have all the information we need to automate your test cases. So moving on. Now, what you see here, guys, is the ability of tool to not only cater for one business process definition, but multiple BPs and multiple definitions of each BP. So what you see right in front is your what we call a test model. So in this example, Hire as a business process has multiple definitions in this particular example, and you choose one definition and it will come up with a complete test model for you, highlighting all the unique paths which you should be selecting and the various data combinations which you should be testing. Once these two things are covered, you just click on what we call that button you have there, automate, and the reusable libraries in the background stitch themselves together to make the test cases for you. And guys, I'm not oversimplifying it. It is literally as simple as that. So one-click automation and test creation remains our forte and something which we are extremely, extremely fond of, and it facilitates and enables us to do a very, very quick onboarding. Moving on. Impact analysis. Guys, this is something which I will be focusing a lot on in the webinar, the next one to come. We have impact analyzed at various levels. We do impact analysis on a weekly basis or a frequency of your choice. So we take the snapshots on the recurring snapshot before, without anyone going into the tenant. The two snapshots compare themselves and give you various aspects of things. They will tell you, hey, these business process definitions have changed. These security groups have changed. This is the set of custom objects which have changed. These are the sets of calculated fields which have changed. And you get a complete audit analysis, impact analysis, and usage analysis all in one report done for you right there and then. Based on the impact, if 8 business processes have changed and across them multiple definitions have changed, not only does the tool show you what has changed, it shows you the impacted test cases as well. And now comes the favorite part, the self-heal capability. You click on the self-heal and the impacted test cases in the background update themselves. And yep, it literally works like that. So what you see on screen now is a glimpse, a screenshot of telling you, hey, between the two snapshots which we have compared, say for example, this week and last week, these are the business processes which have changed. You have hire and 3 definitions of hire have changed. You have proposed compensation hire and 1 definition of that particular BP has changed. And then you have the benefit, change benefit elections, and 5 definitions have changed there. As you keep on digging down into it, it will keep on showing you to the nth level of what object was added, deleted, and what was modified. So this is how detailed it is. So if you move on, here we go. You click on that, say hire, 3 things have changed. Here you go. Green means these are the 3 objects which have been added. You click on those objects and in the right panel, it will very quickly show you what those objects are, in which order of the business process do these objects lie. Not only this, what their approval hierarchy is. So the tool has all the information it needs to update the relevant test case. Now, when you click on self-heal, all these things, they get retrofitted into your existing automated test case. And that's it, job done. All you have to do is click on run and the test case will run. This is how simple and how effective it is. So if we move on, I think in the next one, I would like to take you through the weekly report as well. That again, a lot of clients find extremely useful. But yeah, let's just very quickly touch upon the end-to-end business assurance scalable. If we go, yeah. So guys, end-to-end business assurance comes in two ways. So yes, I'm testing your individual BPs, fine. But as I said before, testing is never completed at the unit level. Payroll is my classic example. I always bring it up because payroll in itself has the test cases, has its arms and tentacles which span over benefits, which span over compensation. These three modules are so tightly coupled that if you have specific configurations in your tenant, we know exactly what scenarios you need to have in your suite to test these effectively. So you are not only just testing compensation, you're not only testing payroll, you're not only testing the setup of unions, you are testing everything from end-to-end perspective. You are testing everything in conjunction. You're testing things like complex retirement plans. You're testing things like various benefit plans and the eligibility criteria is being met. So this is the expertise that this platform brings with it. Complete assurance of your end-to-end testing. Now, what you see here, this one and then the next one, which Caleb is going to show you guys, is a depiction of how integration test works. So as I said before, platform is not restricted to Workday. Any major integration you might have with Oracle, Salesforce, Coupa, we support it out of the box. You can also have any local or say EIB connectors or EIBs, connectors, studio integrations, whatever you have in your Workday landscape. Opkey as a tool support it's really, really well. We support EIB integrations easy and thoroughly, as I said, with our synthetic data generation capability, with our comparison tool utility. If you happen to have integration with any of the system which we support out of the box, your job is so easy. Workday integrated with Oracle, we know exactly how the two systems work. We bring accelerators with us. You have outbound from Workday, inbound into Oracle. We know how to get the report out of Oracle and validate the files. So that expertise we bring to the table, which gives you a complete peace of mind when it comes to integration testing. So if we move on. Yep. So again, another depiction of how this, by the way, what you see is our integration dashboard. So once we get a picture of how your integrations work, this is the dashboard you will see, and it will give you a complete picture of how the integrations work. Now, admittedly, particularly when it comes to Workday, it is not as seamless purely because Workday landscape deliberately has kept it very, very conservative, right? So we do need some time to sit with the customers and understand when it comes to certain integrations. But purely because Opkey integrates with other platforms so seamlessly, the whole end-to-end process becomes relatively painless for us. And we are very easy to track. It's easier for us to track your integrations because we have the understanding of other systems which are integrated with your tenant. So it makes it relatively simpler and easier. So if we move on, I think I would very, very important feature. Caleb, if you go to the next slide, these are the security, these are Opkey's security credentials, guys. Top of the notch. And as I say, some of the people actually say, hey, why do you even need this particular compliance? But the tool is compliant to the highest level of security compliance you can think of. So as I said, we not only protect your data, we understand how sacred it is, and we at Opkey literally worship it. So we ensure that your data is completely safe and secure with us. Moving on. Caleb, this is something I would like you to take. You would be able to explain it better than I can. The engagement models which Opkey has. And I can tell Caleb is looking for unmute.
There it is. Yeah, so these are two of the offerings that we have for our clients. The self-managed model or SaaS model. This is where we're able to essentially give you the access to the tool and our Workday accelerators for you to use for your team internally. And the benefits there is that your team is really able to understand what is being tested and get a full understanding of what is and is not being tested in that environment. And rather than having to wait for someone like an SI or some other IT services group to come through and actually help to execute testing. And then the managed services model is more of a white glove approach where our team essentially comes in and does all of the testing required for a specific update. In Workday's case, we have the biannual updates, and we're able to come in, do all of that testing, and without your team really needing to lose any sleep or use any additional resources to come in and complete that testing. And yeah, with that, I will pass it back to Aditi.
Thanks, Kelly. Guys, again, very simple things, but I think they need to be reiterated. Testing is not an episodic event. It has to be done continuously. You have to test early and often. There is no such thing as exhaustive testing. Prioritize, be careful, and maintain. And any tool you choose has to be the one which requires the minimal effort. Automation gets outdated really, really quickly. So that's where Opkey comes into play. Absolutely burdenless and painless. It is always updated with your current implementation, and no code test automation nature allows your business to be heavily involved in the whole testing process without the fear and intimidation of the coding. I will now take a pause to see any questions you might have, guys. I'm so sorry. I always run over time because I talk too much, but yeah. You're mute, Kelly.
Thank you, Diti. All right, so it looks like no questions in the queue right now, but we'll go ahead and drop one in here just so we can keep the conversation going. The question is, so Deepti, for organizations, what sort of metrics should be used to measure the effectiveness of testing instead of just pass-fail? Is there anything else especially for end-to-end testing?
Absolutely. So guys, believe it or not, Caleb, when we send you the validation report, one thing which we often get is, okay, a suite of 1,000 test cases, 800 pass, 200 fail. But that is not the level of reporting and realization of investment in terms of your ROI that Opkey offers. With our new test observability, you get a complete picture of, hey, with time, say for example, I'll talk about Oracle. With every patch, the suite last patch took 4 hours 50 minutes, which this patch it took 8 hours 20 minutes. At a test case level, it will go and say why this test case took this long. So the observability, the continuous observability feature that Opkey provides gives you an insight into the effectiveness of the testing. So previously, before manually, it was an effort worth of days and weeks. The tool itself brings it down to hours or a couple of days. And within that, as every release progress, you can see how your suite is maturing, the time it is taking for execution, the number of defects which are coming up, and the flexibility which you have, the ease of use of the platform in itself. Multiple factors and features together combine to show you how effective your any testing tool or any test methodology you have in your system, in your company is. So it's not one thing to say, hey, out of 500 things, 300 pass, 200 fail. It is a culmination of multiple factors, as I said, the time, the ease, the frequency, the reports which you get, how detailed those are they helping you to understand and analyze this is a particular area which always fails, maybe this is where we need more development, this is where we need more enhancements. So these factors together give you an insight into how effective your testing is. And very proudly, I'm going to say it again, Opkey as a platform, one within one platform, you get each and everything that I have said here.
Great. Well, yeah, thanks so much for that answer, Deepti. Looks like we're just at about time. That was a phenomenal session, especially just on the developments that Opkey has within the Workday space, especially going forward. And if you do have any other questions related to Opkey's Workday offerings or just Opkey in general, feel free to visit the website at www.opkey.com. Or if you want to reach out to us directly, sales@opkey.com is also another way to get in touch and potentially see how a demo could work within with your potential environment. And yeah, with that, we're going to close this session up. Thank you for everyone that attended and those that were watching the recording. Yeah, appreciate the time and have a great rest of your afternoon. All right.
Great. Thanks, everyone.